Good day to Encik Muhammad Zaki bin Yahya, Communicative English 3 lecturer and my fellow friends. I am Loshna from DAT5A and my metric card number is 01DAT19F1035. Today, my partner and I will be presenting a graph analysis on distribution of employment by economic sector from the year 2009 to 2019. Economic sector refers to a collection of various similar economic activities. Similarities are vary depending on the classification we use. It could be based on stages in the production chain, source of the income, or the type of product, or based on ownership itself. Classified under three categories, which is primary, secondary, and tertiary. The economic sector that we are presenting today consists of agriculture, services, and industry. So without any further delay, let's look at our graph. The graph that we use today to present is the bar graph. As you can see, at the top of the graph is our title, which is the distribution of employment by economic sector in Malaysia. Next, on the left of the graph is the y-axis, which is the share of total employment from 0% to 100%, whereby at the bottom of the graph it shows the x-axis, which shows the year from 2009 to 2019. Finally is the legend. It represents the sectors in our graph. The blue represents the agriculture, the navy blue represents the industry, and finally the grey represents the services. As we can see in this graph, the employment by agriculture decreased throughout the year. Let's analyze the graph in detail. To begin with, in 2009, the distribution of employment by agriculture was 13.5%. Followed by, in the year 2010, the employment by agriculture was marginally lower by 0.2%, which is 13.3%. Similarly, there was a little drop in the distribution by employment by agriculture in 2011, which is 11.88%. In contrast, from 2011 to 2012, there was a considerable increase in the distribution of employment by agriculture, which is 11.88% to 13.26%. Besides that, there was a slight change of 0.242% in the employment of distribution by agriculture from 2013 to 2015. There has a fractional drop from the year 2016 to 2017, which is 0.08%, whereby from 2018 to 2019, the distribution of employment by agriculture dropped drastically. Before I end my part, I would like to conclude that my overview that I stated earlier was indeed true about the graph, which is the distribution of employment by agriculture decreased throughout the year. Now, my partner will continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Good day to Mr. Muhammad Zaki bin Yahya and my fellow friends. Thank you to my partner Loshna Krishnan. I am Mithrahsree and my matrix card number is 01D8019F1016. Now, I will continue with my part of the presentation, which includes industry economic sector and services. Our graph is about distribution of employment by economic sector from the year 2009 to 2019. As you guys can see over here, the graph I used in this presentation is a bar graph. At the top of the graph is the title, which is Distribution of Employment by Economic Sector in Malaysia. On the left side of the graph is the share of total employment from 0% to 100%, which is also the y-axis. Whereby at the bottom of the graph is the x-axis, which represents the year from 2009 to 2019. Below the graph is the legend that represents our sectors, which is blue for agriculture, navy blue for industry, and grey represents services. According to the graph, I can see that the service sector had the highest employment rate over the year compared to other economic sectors, while the agriculture sector had the least employment rate. To start off, I will begin by analyzing the industry economic sector. Firstly, there has been a fractional drop from the year 2016 to 2017, which is 0.08%, whereby from 2018 to 2019, the distribution of employment for agriculture dropped drastically. Next, the distribution of employment for industry in 2009 and 2010 is 27.0% and 27.62% respectively. In comparison with other years, in the year 2011, the distribution of employment for industry was the highest with 28.45%. Furthermore, the average percentage of distribution of employment for industry from 2012 to 2019 is 24.14%. Now, I'm going to analyze the last part of our graph, which contains the data of the service sector throughout the year. To start with, the percentage of distribution of employment for services fluctuated from the year 2011 to 2014. Other than that, from the year 2015 to 2016, the percentage of distribution of employment for services also slightly increased around 1.13%. As you guys can see here, over the year, the percentage of distribution of employment for service accelerated from 60.99% to 62.72%. In a nutshell, we can see that the service sector dominated Malaysia's employment in 2019, which is the highest among agriculture and industry sector. This is because the main reasons behind the growth of services include rapid urbanization, the expansion of public sector, and increased demand for intermediate and final consumer services. With that, we are at the end of our presentation. So I would like to thank Mr. Muhammad Zaki bin Yahya for watching our presentation patiently till the end. Thank you.